Something nobody talks about is the toll that moving takes on your body if you're a chronic illness warrior. March is Endometriosis Awareness Month. It's also Disability Awareness Month. And so, I turned 45 on Monday, and I moved. And, everything's still quite a mess. So I wanted to show my self-care tips for moving with chronic illness and disabilities, and the self-care routine that keeps me strong. Number 1, protein is going to be your friend when you're moving. Make sure that you have lots of sources of protein. One of my new favorites is ceremonial cacao in my morning coffee. Since I'm not only getting protein, but also magnesium. And with the adaptogens, I'm getting fiber. It's also delicious all on its own if you're trying to avoid or stop drinking coffee. Number 2, as always, hydration. Hydration is so important. Make sure that you are hydrating to the correct amount and not chugging water. Give your kidneys a break. Number 3, rest. Don't forget to rest and to take care of yourself, which brings us to number 4. And this incredibly messy hair, as you can see. And I'm going to show you how I take care of my surgical menopause hair with 1 drop. This is the skincare that I use. This is Amla oil, which is a vitamin C booster. 8 to 10 times more vitamin C than orange. It's super concentrated, and I need 1 drop. That's it. And I rub it through my hands. And since I have oily skin, generally, I start at the ends and just work it through. I do avoid my scalp because I don't want to add any oil to my scalp since mine gets a little bit itchy and I want to be comfortable. As you can see, I'm having a great deal of fun with this, and so can you. Now, why this is important is as women age, our hair tends to start thinning and falling out. As you can see, mine's starting to do that here because of the surgery. And because I've lost 6 organs and had 5 surgeries in 5 years, my body's been through quite a lot. And so I choose intentional care just to really help. And I'm not an esthetician. I've had no training in this. But I've always tried to use plant-based products. And since this is an Ayurvedic line, this is intentional and very, very healing self-care. And as you can see, I'm not having too much trouble. Well, you don't know me, so these struggles are real before, and right now, it's good. My hair is also going to get very curly, full of body, with no other product than that 1 drop of oil. And number 5, eat your water and your juice. What do I mean by that? Don't skip out. This has got a lot of fiber in it, polyphenols, and all those wonderful goodies. It's also part of this earth. So are you. And when you're moving, you can get quite dislocated. And so eating fruits and vegetables when you're moving is also a really good way to ground yourself and stay hydrated. And for those of you who, like me, were or have been raised to be people pleasers and have a hard time getting out of that, when you move, you could be pushing yourself a little bit too hard. And so taking moments to step into your self-care, giving yourself permission to take a whole day, which is what I'm doing, and just relaxing, helping yourself feel better. This is rose oil. Rose hydrosol. Rose is expansive. And so if you're feeling low and depressed and all those other contractive emotions, having rose in your self-care is really good because it can lift your mood without you having to take too many chemicals. And it smells amazing. I'm not going to be beating around the bush. This is absolutely gorgeous. Okay. Maybe you're like me and you've spent hundreds of dollars on a product that was targeted specifically for you, or it felt like it, and it never quite worked, and you always blamed yourself. And what happens when you find something that works for you, but not just for your skin, but everybody else who tries it, and when you have success, but everybody else around you who tries it has success too, people start to share their pain points, people start to share their stories. And what I have found from traveling and living around the world is that too many people spend too much money on items that aren't really meant for them or aren't going to help them in the way that they expect. And quite often, people that are navigating chronic illness are already feeling isolated, invalidated, and carrying too much shame and guilt about it, especially if it's generational and it's been in your family. You've been trained to be quiet and we don't talk about it. And so validating yourself with such intentional care, there's a good word, it's an intentional care, can really lift not only your spirits, but also elevate your physical experience. And I'm going to share a little bit about that in just a second. For anyone who ever told you that oil isn't good for you, well, certain oils aren't good for your skin or your hair, this is true. But there is nourishment to be had, and especially if it's full of ingredients that are chosen specifically, and no fillers. This has got lavender in it, which is why I'm just kind of losing it here. This is really relaxing and soothing, and it's helping me decompress after the move. Lavender has the terpene linalool in it, which is very calming and soothing and muscle relaxing. But what I was talking about with self-care is when you're not used to taking care of yourself, it can feel very strange, and it can feel as if you're being selfish or you're being weak. But what it actually is giving yourself permission to feel better and to be better. And what we found with a lot of people that use these products or choose products that work for them is their energy increases, their vibration increases, they start to do better and they start to feel better, and they take on tasks that before seemed or felt insurmountable. And just as an example, this is my face wash. This bottle will last me a year, easily, because all it takes is one teeny tiny pump. And when I emulsify this, and I use it on my face and my neck and in my chest area, that's sufficient. And it feels quite strange to think that a $38 bottle of high-end face wash could and should last that long while still giving me absolute effectiveness. Those with chronic illness know what it is to be gaslit. And so taking care of your self-care and choosing products that want to serve you, or vendors, makers, and brands that want to serve you and not just take your money, can be so healing in other ways. I'm popping on some magnesium lotion from a local maker who is in the same state as I am, and I love supporting her brand because she has a story to tell. And so the point of this video is really just to say, take good care of yourself today, however that looks, and know that you can choose products and ways of being that may look and seem a little different. But sometimes stepping out of the habits that we've created our lifetime is exactly what we need to do in order to heal and to feel better and to become that empowered version of ourselves that we feel just within our reach, but not quite able to access. And feeling so much better, I know I have a lot of energy to tackle this without sacrificing anything in the way that I used to. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Go check out beingbetterme.com for these and more. Let me know what your preferred self-care routine is. Let's share some hacks.